Oh, good evening, everyone. My name is Hannah Epstein.
And I'm Amanda Gorrin.
Last week, Marist Student Programming Council and Center for Sports Communication hosted guest speaker Gary Cohen, play-by-play announcer for the New York Mets. Students gathered in the Fusco Recital Hall to hear the sportscaster talk about his experiences. Students also had the chance to have their questions answered in a live Q&A session.
Famous actor Gene Hackman, seen in films such as The French Connection and Mississippi Burning, was found dead in his Santa Fe, New Mexico home on February 26, along with his wife Betsy Arakawa and dog. This situation got people scratching their heads, as it seemed unusual that 3 of the 5 beings in the house were discovered deceased at the same time. Recently, it was discovered that Betsy passed away on February 11th due to hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, an illness caused by rodents. The thyroid prescription medication sprawled on the bathroom floor next to her that was initially believed to be the cause of her death was determined as unrelated. In terms of Gene Hackman, it is believed he passed away a week after Betsy on February 18th due to heart disease. Authorities believe that Hackman's Alzheimer's may have caused him to not realize that his wife was dead. As for their dog, Betsy never got the chance to pick up the pet's medication, causing their dog to pass away in a crate.
This past Saturday, Justin Bateman created his own artwork by creating pebbles in the land, calling it land art. He beautifully created a portrait of a cat with all the different shapes and sizes he found. In the video he uploaded to social media, most of the comments were overwhelmingly positive. Bateman's work of art showcased Aidan artistically brilliant the way he used what the earth provided him with. LeBron James just made history by becoming the first NBA player to score 50,000 points across all games combined. This incredible milestone focuses on his milestone and longevity and his spectacular performance throughout his entire career.
Good evening. My name is Shuvam, and today I'll be a science correspondent. So, my older brother is a third year math student, and the other day he told me something that stopped me cold. His classmates, future doctors, are using ChatGPT for their assignments. Wait, what? AI is helping to train people who will someday save lives? Should I trust them? Would you trust them? AI is everywhere in medicine. It's reading breast cancer screenings, it's taking notes for doctors, and it's even acting as virtual nurses. Companies say it will make healthcare faster, smarter, and easier for doctors. But some experts say, hold on, do these tools really work? Most AI models are trained using medical exams, not real patients. Only 5% of studies have tested AI on actual patients. That means that AI could be making life or death decisions without real world experience. And that is dangerous. Computer scientist Deborah Raji says that tests used today are too simple. They don't measure if AI can talk to patients, write prescriptions, or even help doctors in case of real emergencies. Even worse, the test ignores input from nurses and other healthcare workers. So, what needs to change? Experts say we need real world testing. Hospitals should uh, track AI's performance, share the results, and be honest about its limits. Tech companies need to be transparent what's working, what's not. Because if we don't get this right, AI could put people's lives at risk. That's all from the world of science tonight. Stay curious, stay informed, and have an apple every day to stay away from ChatGPT doctors.
Marist University officially announced the date for its second annual Day of Giving. Taking place this year on March 26th, Day of Giving encourages alumni, faculty, parents, students, and more to make monetary gifts to the college to improve the Marist experience and provide opportunities for students. Last year, the school raised over $560,000 and surpassed their goal of 1,500 donors. This year, Marist hopes to reach 4,000 donors. Donors have the choice of designating where their funds go to, including specific athletic departments, the honors program, the music department, and undergraduate research. Among general college options are the Marist Fund, the Presidential Fund for Equity in the Student Experience, and the Alumni Legacy Scholarship Fund.
Wildfires broke out on Long Island, causing New York Governor Kathy Hochul to declare a state of emergency. Officials shared that fires broke out on Saturday afternoon in the Hamptons, and the windy and dry conditions were ideal for keeping the fire burning. The Department of Transportation shared on social media that parts of the Sunrise Highway were to be closed until further notice. Other concerns included overall air quality due to smoke, as well as a threat to New York citizens who were worried their homes were in jeopardy. Officials revealed that the fires are now under control and also 80% contained. Also in wildfire news, a South Carolina woman is facing charges after setting yard debris on fire, leading to a 2,000-acre fire in Myrtle Beach. Charged with negligence in containing a fire on her own property, Alexandra Bielisu was arrested on Thursday. With the burn ban now in place, South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster declared a state of emergency on March 2nd as hundreds of fires have recently ignited in South Carolina, the most notable one being the Covington Drive fire, which was one of the largest. As of this past Saturday, the Horry County government revealed that the Covington Drive wildfire is 55% contained, and the burn ban will remain in place until further notice.
Hi there, I'm Caleb, and today I'm visiting Malahide Castle. Now, this is the first castle I've seen in my life, and I gotta tell you, it did not disappoint. It is gorgeous, it is historic, I loved every second of it. I couldn't take a ton of video because they don't allow filming within the walls, but I took tons of photos. I hope you enjoy.
Malahide Castle dates back to 1185, when Richard Talbot, a knight who accompanied Henry II to Ireland, was granted the land. The Talbot family owned it for 791 years, except for a brief period in 1649 when Oliver Cromwell gave it to Miles Corbett, who he was hung, so he didn't really get to enjoy it very long. Eventually, it was returned to the Talbots in 1660. The castle was expanded under Edward IV, with the towers added in 1765. Despite major events like the Battle of the Boyne, where 14 family members died in a day, the estate endured. During World War I, it hosted a mooring base for airships. In the 1920s, James Boswell's private papers were discovered there and later sold to Yale University. Now, I'd just like to take a break from the history lesson and have you look at this door for a second. Now, I don't have a picture with it that shows how small it is from the rest of the room, but it was about up to my waist. And now I can hear you asking, Caleb, what is that room for? What is that door for? That door is for the house jester. So, during fancy dinner parties and stuff, they would have him come out and do his thing and everybody would laugh and stuff. Now, the funny story that the guy at the museum told us is that the last jester to have worked for the Talbots actually fell in love with the youngest daughter, and it was unrequited, so he was very sad, all that jazz. We've all been there, buddy. So now the story goes that since he died with his love unrequited, his ghost haunts the halls looking for his lost love. I kind of thought he should take the hint, after he died, but what do I know? Beyond the estate itself, the tour also gives you access to the butterfly room and the fairy garden, which frankly was what made the trip worth it for me. The castle was cool, but it was only about 4 rooms total and was honestly a little underwhelming, if only because the castle was so big and we only got to see a little bit of it. The fairy garden and the butterfly room were both fantastic, though, and were the highlight of the day for me. If nothing else, this thing has made me realize I really, really, really want to marry into royalty. So if there are any princesses watching, hey, what's up? You want to grab dinner sometime?
I'm Jonny Martirano, and this is a sports report. It is March Madness time. The Marist men's and women's basketball teams are gearing up for the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference Championships in Atlantic City, New Jersey from March 11th to March 15th. Starting with the men's, they finished their season third in the MAC with a 13-7 conference record and 20-9 overall record. They will play the 6th seed Mount St. Mary's Mountaineers this Thursday, March 13th at 8:30 p.m. on ESPN+. Last year, they lost in the semifinals to Fairfield 65-60 as a 3 seed. The Red Foxes have had a back-and-forth season and had a 9-game winning streak earlier in the season, but have dropped their last 4 games and lost to the Mountaineers in their final game. That is not the finish you want before the tournament, but Marist still has a chance to make it to the NCAA tournament, something that has not been done since 1987. They have been led by sophomore guard Josh Pasquarelli, who was sixth in the MAC in scoring, averaging 15.9 points per game and leading the team with 34.4 minutes per game. For the women's, they finished their season fifth in the MAC with a record of 11-9 in conference play and 16-14 overall. They will also play the 4-seed Mount St. Mary's as well, also on this Thursday at 12 p.m. on ESPN+. The Red Foxes also lost to the Mountaineers 60-47 in the opening round in last year's tournament as the last seed in the MAC. They also have lost their last two games heading to the tournament and dropped their final game against Mount St. Mary's, just like the men's team. The women's team hasn't made the tournament since 2021, but they have made it 11 times in their history compared to the 2 for the men's, and they even made it to the round of 16 in 2007. The women's team has been led by junior center Morgan Lee, who averaged 12.9 points per game and 7.7 rebounds per game, good for 4th in the MAC. This is a big week for Marist sports, and good luck to both the men's and women's basketball teams this week at the MAC championships.
The Criminal Justice Program at Marist is now officially named the Crime and Justice Studies Program. With this name change, the School of Social and Behavioral Sciences hopes to expand its curriculum and mission to keep pace with the evolving field of justice studies. The department has integrated required courses and electives in sociology, psychology, political science, and other fields, contributing to an interdisciplinary approach to crime and justice. The name change also comes partly due to the connotations associated with the former name, the term criminal carrying a strong stigma. By making the change, the department looks to emphasize the importance of language in shaping perceptions and systems.
University of Pittsburgh student Sudiksha Kananki went missing on her spring break trip to the Dominican Republic. Kananki and 5 of her college friends arrived at their hotel on March 3rd, and national police received word that she was missing on Friday, March 7th. Police believe that she went missing around 4:15 a.m. as surveillance footage showed her friends returning from the beach without her. The search has now reached its 4th day with helicopters, drones, and search dogs being used in an attempt to find her. The Dominican National Emergency System is spearheading the search efforts in hopes that the student will be found alive soon. Now with Josh for this week's entertainment news.
Hello again. My name is Bobby, and your riddle of today is, what has keys but can't unlock a thing? And your hint for this is these types of keys were commonly made with ivory back in the day. All right. Your time is up. The answer was a piano. There you go. That's all for today, people, and see you next time.
Good evening, MCTV News. I'm Josh Lawrence here with the spiciest news the entertainment industry has to offer. Recently, Saturday Night Live has brought on Mike Myers to play the role of Elon Musk for their political satire. Mike Myers is known well for his role as Dr. Evil in the movie Austin Powers and chose to portray Musk similarly using his iconic pinky gesture. This sparked some anger from the real Elon Musk over his portrayal, tweeting out, "Humor fails when it lies." I bet you're thinking, Josh, there's simply no way you have even more Mike Myers related news, but fear not, dear viewer, as the teaser for Shrek 5 released recently. Mike Myers will be reprising his role as Shrek alongside Eddie Murphy as Donkey. We also got to see the return of Fiona, the Magic Mirror, and Pinocchio, alongside a new appearance from Shrek's daughter, who will be played by Zendaya. Shrek fans know that he and Fiona have 3 children as of the last time we saw them, Fergus, Farkle, and Felicia, the only daughter. To the untrained eye, this Zendaya ogre would be Felicia, but real Shrek fans know their eye colors do not match up. Could this be an entirely new character? Consider my tinfoil hat on. The trailer also has sparked some controversy over the looks of the characters. It appears that there's been a new animation style being used for this film. This shouldn't be too shocking, as DreamWorks has updated their style in the past few films. Notably, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish has an updated design, a film taking place within the Shrek universe. Nonetheless, fans notice Shrek looks a little too cleaned up, which seems out of place for its more satirical, crude style. Could our beloved ogre simply be aging strangely, or is this another ugly Sonic scenario that the folks at DreamWorks need to fix up? Only time will tell, but with a far out release date in late 2026, the studio does have some time to make changes. That's all for Mike Myers, or entertainment news. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Josh. That's all we have for tonight. My name is Hannah Epstein.
And I'm Amanda Gorrin.
And this is MCTV News.